Algebra I 13.6b, Radical Equations and Formulas. So, you need to watch the principles of squaring, or know what that is, and squares of binomials and about quadratic formulas before you watch this one so you don't get confused. We only have a couple more videos to go and we're going to be finished with Algebra I. And all the links are in this video's description, okay? So it's easy for you. So we can solve formulas for a given variable by using the principle of squaring and the addition and multiplication properties of equality. They'll help us isolate the variable. If it says to solve for the given variable, and we're given v equals 3.5 times the square root of h, and we need to solve it for h, what we do is we use the principle of squaring, and we square both sides by squaring each term. So we've got v equals 3.5 times the square root of h. We square each term. V gets squared, 3.5 gets squared, and the square root of h gets squared. What we get is v squared equals, we did a little math on the side, 3.5 times 3.5 is 12.25, and that removes the radical sign from the h, doesn't it? We can divide both sides by 12.25 to isolate the h, and this becomes a 1, doesn't it? And we get 1h, and now we have v squared divided by 12.25. This actually solves for the height, h, in meters, to see v kilometers to the horizon. That's what that formula is for, okay? Take a look at this one. This formula, t equals 2 pi times the square root of L over g, and they want us to solve it for g. This solves for a simple pendulum and the time it takes for it to swing back and forth. Isn't that kind of cool? So, like in a grandfather clock where the pendulum is swinging. So, using the principle of squaring, we square both sides. The t gets squared and this gets squared. And this is raise the product to a power. That's video 5.2b. That was a long time ago in chapter 5. And the definition of a square root, this removes the square root symbol, the radical sign, from the L over g, and we get it like this. So now we have t squared, and this is the right side. We're going to multiply both sides by g. So I put g over 1 because this is like a fraction. And that's going to give us g times t squared equals 4 pi squared L divided by t squared. I'm going to isolate that g by dividing both sides by the t square. See? And now this becomes a 1 right here, doesn't it? So we end up isolating the g, and this is what we've got. You can find out the swinging back and forth of a pendulum, of a simple pendulum, all right? All right, it's physics. So this solves for an interest rate. It actually solves for an interest rate after a couple years. So we've got A equals P, that's the principal, and it's multiplied by 1 plus R squared. We need to solve it for R. So we isolate this 1 plus R squared by dividing both sides by the P. That creates a 1 here, doesn't it? Now we have A divided by P equals 1 plus R squared. And taking the square root on both sides, see? We remove the little exponent here and put the radical sign over the A divided by P, see? And we can subtract 1 from both sides to isolate this R. And now we have negative 1 times the square root of A divided by P equals R. We isolated the R, see? No big deal, right? It's just moving the formulas around. So we've got 2 more videos for Algebra I, and we're going to start Algebra II. I wanted to show you this really quick, and we've covered this many times. When we're doing this, where we've got the square root of h, and then we put it in parentheses, that principle of squaring, what we're doing is we're saying the square root of 7 times the square root of 7. That's all. And when we multiply these, we get the square root of 49. And the square root of 49 is 7. And you can either put this little 2 exponent here to make the 49, or you can put the square root symbol around the 49 and make it a 7. See? It goes back and forth. All right. We're almost finished with Algebra 1. We have very little to go. All right? Our next video, 13.7a, and then there's going to be a 13.7b. Those are both going to be word problem videos. Those are the last 2 videos. All right? I think the next one is the frame of a picture, and after that we're going to do the legs of a right triangle, and we're going to be done. And the legs of the right triangle one is going to be 13.7b, and we're actually going to use the quadratic formula to do that one, okay? We did it before, but we didn't do it with the quadratic formula, all right? And any of the previous videos that can be helpful to you are going to be in this description, so you can just click on them, all right? And you're probably going to be getting ready for finals soon. I hope I'll see you at the next video, and good luck. Keep trying. Bye.